So do you also want to scrap and summarize the web page automatically? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to scrap and summarize web pages using an AI agent. So like you, I also used to manually read all the documents and then summarize it for my research report. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the web page URL into my Google Sheets, automatically using Firecrawl we are just going to scrap the details, and then using my AI agent, which is OpenAI, we're just going to generate the summary, and I'm just going to add that summary back again into my Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, Firecrawl, OpenAI and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to build an AI powered agent that scrap contents from web pages and summarize the key points automatically. So whether you are tracking the news, analyzing the competitors or curating industry updates, this smart workflow pulls content and runs it through OpenAI for summarization and delivers the insights straight into your Google Sheets. So let's simplify the information gathering. So as you can see that I regularly do research work, and what happens is that I can't read all the research papers manually. So for that I have already created this automation, and first I'm just going to show you the proper working of this automation. Let's say I'm just going to enter the paper title right over here, and then I'm just going to enter the source URL. And once I'm just going to enter both of these details, within seconds and in real time, the summary of the same will be generated and added right over here. So we just have to wait for a few seconds till the summary is getting generated, and automatically the summary is going to be added right over here. So we just have to wait for a few seconds. So yes, you can see that within seconds and in real time my AI generated summary has been added right over here, that too without any manual intervention. So yes, this is no magic, this is the power of automation which we are just going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab, and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account. And to get started with this automation, I'm simply going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created, in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these only, which is automations. And now I'm just going to name my workflow as this: scrap and summarize web pages using an AI agent. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL, and we're just going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. So I'm just going to copy this webhook URL and open my Google Sheets. And now from here, we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then towards this get add-ons. And after coming go ahead towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and as you can see that I have already installed this extension, but you have to install it right from here. And once you install this, you're simply going to refresh your spreadsheet. So it is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet, otherwise you'll not be able to get the option of this Pabbly Connect Webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this option, you simply have to go towards this Pabbly Connect Webhooks and then towards this initial setup. And now it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So over here for the webhook URL, we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from my workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is B. So the trigger column will be your final data column, on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So yes, for me the trigger column is B, but for you it can be anything according to your own spreadsheet. And after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit, and once I'm just going to click on this submit, with this it is saying setup configured successfully, and with this we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and now from here we have to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and then you have to go towards this send on event and switch on this button. So it is a really important step to switch on this button, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that now whenever a new event is going to occur in the spreadsheet, automatically your workflow is going to get started. Alright, and after switching on this button, we are ready to do the test submission. And to do the test submission, I'm just going to enter the paper title, and then I'm just going to enter the source URL right over here. And once I'm just going to enter both of these details, with this we have successfully completed the test submission, and over here you're going to see that Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. And after doing this, we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now I'm just going to move on towards my action step. First, I'm just going to scrape this web page. For that, I'm just going to use Firecrawl. So I'm just going to use Firecrawl. I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as add a scrape and click on this connect. And now it's asking me to create a new connection or select the existing connection. So if you have already connected your Firecrawl account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is saying enter the API key head, and to get the API key, log into your Firecrawl account and navigate to the dashboard and then go to the API key section. Alright, so I'm simply going to first open my Firecrawl account, and now from here we have to go towards this API keys from the left side of the bar, and over here you're going to see that this is my API key. So I'm simply going to copy this API key, and then I'm just going to paste it right over here and click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our Firecrawl account with our Pabbly Connects workflow, and now it's asking me for the URL to scrape. So we're going to see that I'm just going to simply enter this URL right over here, but we're not going to copy paste the detail or enter it manually, but instead I'm just going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the URL right over here and move on further. Now it's asking me for the format. So for that, I'm just going to select it as markdown. And now it's asking me for many another details. So all of these details are not the required details. So I'm just going to leave it as blank and click on this button which says save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received this data markdown and we have successfully scraped this website. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to give this data markdown my AI agent, and then it is going to summarize this for me. Alright, so for that, I'm just going to select the action application as OpenAI. I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Right now, if you haven't connected to OpenAI, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to open this OpenAI API key page. And now from here, we have to create an API key. For that, you have to go towards this create new secret key button. You have to enter your key name, select the project, and your key will be created. I've already created my key, so I'm simply going to paste that key right over here and click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it's asking me to select the AI model, so I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4. You can select it as any another of your choice. And after selecting this AI model, I'm simply going to enter the prompt using which I'm just going to generate the summary. So as you can see that I've successfully entered the prompt, and I'm just going to simply map the data markdown right over here. Alright, so I'm simply going to map this data markdown right over here and click on this save and send as request. And now using these details, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the summary. So I'm just going to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is generating me the summary using these details. And then over here going to see that we have successfully received the summary. The web page discusses a particular paper title of this and the rest of the details. Alright, so now I'm just going to add these details into my Google Sheets. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. And now for the action event, I'm just going to use update a cell value. So I'm just going to search for it, select it, and click on this connect. Once again, it is asking me for the same. So if you haven't connected your Google Sheets, you have to go to this add a new connection, sign in with Google. You have to connect your Gmail account, and automatically your Google Sheets account will be connected once you give Pabbly all the permissions. I've already connected my Google Sheets, so I'm just going to go to this select existing connection and then save. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account, and I'm just going to select the spreadsheet right over here, which is research summary dashboard. I'm just going to select the sheet, which is sheet 1, and now it is asking me to enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated. So we're going to see the range is C4, so I'm simply going to enter C4 right over here. But with every new response, it is going to change. It will be C5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. All right. So what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to keep this C as static, but I'm just going to map this row index. So I'm just going to look for row index and map it. And now this is the range. And now for the value, I'm simply going to map the value which my AI agent generated, which is the summary, and click on this save and send as request. And as you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully updated our sheet. So I'm just going to open my sheet, and as you can see, the summary has been added right over here. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the paper title and the source URL right over here, automatically within seconds and in real time, the AI summary will be generated and added right over here. That too without any manual intervention. Like I showed you in the starting of this video, all of this is going to happen in backend, and we just have to sit back and relax. So yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.